Okay. Um, where are we? So, can you see my screen, guys, muna, before we proceed with the parking?
Yes po.
Okay. So if you can see this one, this is the major plate design problem. So I will be asking if you have read this one already. Yes, Joshua.
Wala po, sir.
Have you read the major plate na?
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes po, sir.
Some of you have read it. Others, may I know if okay na?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Okay. For the sake of discussion, may I ask someone from you to read the major plate design problem? Can I ask Aliona to read the statement of the project title, statement of the problem, and project site features?
Okay. Major plate number one. The project title. Project title is proposed drive-through fast food. The statement of the problem: due to its growing demand on the area where most of the new establishment arises, a private developer decided to put up a drive-through fast food located on the corner lot on a national road in Pili, Camarines Sur. The property is estimated to be 640 square meters. The project site features are the wait, oh, the project is a regular corner lot. It is located along a 10-meter wide major road, i.e., the road right of way (RRO), with 28.7 wide frontage facing west. It slopes at very gently 2% towards the street with 1.8 wide sidewalks. The surface of the sidewalk shall be considered as elevation zero point 0.0 meters. The site is adjacent to a gasoline station on the right side of the property and a church across a 6-meter minor road on the left of the property. Across the major road is an exclusive subdivision. Yun na po. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Aliona. Joshua Aguila, can you read the design objective and requirements? Joshua Aguila? Ay, nawala. Okay. Dieter Aguilar, can you read design objective and requirements, please?
Yes, sir. The design objective is to design an independent economical to fast food outlet. Definitely not associated to any national and international brands. The design requirements are concept board, site development plan with labels and spot details, floor plans, four elevations and one section perspective with one northern view perspective.
Okay. Um, all right. So basically, so this is our sorry, requirements, objectives, and the rest. For a while. Give me a minute.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes. For a while. Give me a minute. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes
Give me a
po.
minute. Yes po. May nagkakatok lang for a while. Okay, apologies. Ayun. So malinaw ba? Anyone of you has questions on our problem, major plate design problem? May I know? Malinaw naman, guys?
So excuse me, sir. I have a
Yeah.
question, sir.
Yes, thank you so much for raising your question. All right.
Is the drive-thru po is two-story or one-story lang po?
All right. Regarding your stories or space requirements, it's up to you to decide on your own. Wala tayong requirement kung two-story or one-story. Depending on your case, depending on your needed requirement. Because according to our um, project design problem, it's stated there, uh, you can design on your own. As long as ang ating requirement is there, halimbawa, sabi dyan, dependent, this is independent Bicolano, drive-through, not associated to any national or international brand, for as long as it fits to your objective, it's fine with me. You can create your own, basta pasok sa requirements. Questions? Did I answer your question, Dieter?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Any other questions? Wala pa? Okay,
Um,
let's go. Oh, yeah.
may,
Yes, Erica.
may I know, sir? May I know, sir, if it's really located in somewhere in Pili po,
Okay, thank you so much for
or
raising the question. Basically, it's a case study. We don't have the accuracy of the exact lot number, the title, pero the case study will be on Pili area. Meaning, yung exact lot is not exactly in Pili, pero yung case study natin will be in Pili area.
okay, sir, thank you po.
Okay. Si Kyle has question. Okay, I noted Joshua. It's fine. Sir, sa slope po. What about the slope, Kyle? What's your question about the slope? You can turn on your microphone or you can add to the chat kung um, uncomfortable. Never mind. All right. So I will explain the site. Give me a minute. I will explain the site muna para sa concern mo. I will be showing you the site.
Sir, with concerns po sa section, ano po yun? Is it a longitudinal or a cross-section po? Ano po, sir?
I'll see it. Sorry, wait lang. Ano nga yung nakalagay? For one section. All right. That is longitudinal section because if you have your stairs going up, basically the point of having section is locate where the stairs are. Kung saan ang pinaka strategic, or if you have kung meron kang features on your development, basically show it on the section. Okay? If you're comfortable in longitudinal, go with longitudinal section, which is recommended. But at the same time, kung nasa cross section naman yung stairs mo, basically show it on the cross section. All right? Aliona?
Okay po, thank you, sir.
Alright. Okay. Asan na yan? I'll show again yung site. Okay. Nakikita niyo ba? No.
Yes po.
Or what? Mhm. Ayan. Can you see it na?
Yes po.
Okay. Ito yung site. This is our case study for the site. Mind you, this is in case study is in Pili area, but not an exact site in Pili. So this is just case study. So take a look at the considerations for your on your right of the property is a gasoline station. We have here church area on the left, residential area on the rear side, and subdivision development on the front. Okay, yung question ni Kel a while ago is about slope. So, sabi dun sa question, uh, just slightly. So according to the elevation, so the project site features, it sloped very gently towards the street, which is 2%. So it's safe to say na yes, there is slope because strategically, pag nagpaplano tayo, dapat mataas naman talaga ang commercial building or ang building sa road. So meron yung slope. Pero it does not necessarily mean na mataas yung slope or kailangan nating mag-project ng very high slope on the road. From the road to your property. Ibig sabihin, may slope pero relatively flat naman yung development. Okay? Questions? Another questions? Kyle, did I answer your question? Kyle? All right. Okay. All right. Ano pa? Any other questions? Yeah, I will be showing you na yung ating parking. Hello. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to look at my file for a while muna ha. Give me a minute. Okay. Thank you, Lorraine. While I'm looking at it, sir, what paper size are we going to use, and what are the guidelines for our title block? Okay. Um, may I know kung saan kayo komportable gawin yung major plate? And then what resources you have there with you para hindi naman tayo stringent, wala pala kayong tracing, tapos magre-record tayo. May I know kung saan kayo komportable?
Tracing paper po.
May tracing paper naman po, sir.
Tracing paper. Okay? Tracing paper. Mhm. Okay, Gerard. Okay. Okay. Okay, ganito. Parchment paper. Okay. Um, regarding the paper, the type of paper you are going to use, wala tayong standardized na kung anong klase. If you are comfortable in using tracing paper, go. If you're comfortable in using parchment or cartolina, you can also use both for as long as parchment paper will be cut into a size of a tracing paper, and then yung cartolina has to be on um, 20 by 30 size din. It's fine ba? Okay lang ba yon, Gerard and Natalie? Okay. Okay. Naka-on. Okay. Ano to? Ang alam ko po, di kasi aabot ng cartolina sa 20 by 30. Okay. If it's okay on its own size, give me the size of cartolina, um, Gerard. Give me the size of cartolina if you. For as long it's near to the size of tracing, okay. Sir, how about the, all right. For the scale, it's between, okay, we will not be fixating the detail for that one, pero papunta tayo sa 1:100, start with 100, down to, okay, good afternoon, Mr. Noeles. Okay, let's start with 100, 1:100, and then go down to the detail of 1:50. Meaning, ang sinasabi kong 50, 1:50 detail are pag meron kayong mga pop-out na detalye such as you want to expose or showcase an innovation on the facade, detail, you can use that. Sorry. Ayan. So we are now on the parking, discussion of the parking. So since this is commercial development, so I will be allowing you to use, of course, allocate parking spaces for vehicular and then pedestrian, which is discussed by Aliona, asked a while ago. Provide pedestrian walkways. It has to be pedestrianized, walkable. At the same time, alam naman natin na pag drive-through fast food, we entertain private and public vehicles. So for public vehicles, just like jeepneys, tricycle, allocate loading and unloading zone, kahit portion lang, not an entire loading and unloading zone. We all know that vehicles such as cars, ang perpendicular parking is 2.5 by 5. Parallel parking is 2.15 by 6. For your jeepney, we all know that is 3 by 9. Definitely, we will not be providing trucks. But for vertical clearance of, since drive-through to, allocate natin na ang vertical clearance of your drive-through, yung papasok nyo, paikot on the development, kaya yung ating truck. Malinaw? Please acknowledge if you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Alright. Alright. So yung truck naman are standard on the height on the standard truck. Check the clearance, the vertical clearance of the truck to be used for your drive-through. All right. So yun. If for parking requirements, detailed discussion is on table 7.4, page 100 of the National Building Code, depending on the occupancy and floor areas. Alright? Ito are definitely, ito naman ay for hotels. Hindi natin i-discuss, but ito yung allocation for parking. Kung mapapansin nyo, isa, say for example ito, ang ating parking requirements for churches. For every 50 square meter of congregation area, isang car slot. Jeepney slot, isa din. For public universities, one car slot for every 5 classrooms, loading jeepneys, one loading space for 2 jeepney, and then one school bus for every 200 vehicle. May I know your observation out of these data? May I know from you kung sino yung kaya maka-observe? Just an opinion out of the data presented. Guys?
Sir, what do you mean po?
What I'm trying to say is that if you have, what do you observe about the data presented? Kung halimbawa, fit pa ba siya ngayon? Or do you still observe the same ratio with our existing hospitals, existing schools? Do you think it is applicable pa ba?
Maybe not so much po kasi since most are using like motorcycles or kaya mga like other modes of transportation other than a car and jeepneys. So like you need to provide like other modes of parking space or spaces for them.
Okay. So thank you so much, Aliona. What I am trying to say, basically that is correct, Aliona. What I'm trying to say is that the data presented is correct, but at the same time, it's obsolete already. Meaning, it is considerable na tama pa kung i-allocate mo siya with the same number, with the same ratio, pero it's no longer applicable now. Meaning, kung magpo-provide ka ng isang parking slot for a university with a ratio of 1 parking for every 5 classrooms sa inyo, kung halimbawa face-to-face tayo, definitely ang isang car parking for 5 classrooms is not applicable anymore. Meaning, ang isang classroom nga halos nag-1:1 yung ratio ng estudyante papunta sa parking. So my point for discussion is that discussion natin kanina, we have Mr. Lucena, JC, presented that one car is equivalent to 30 square meter. So that is correct, but at the same time, if you take a look at the projections for your user within the commercial building, kung ganong ratio, halos magkukulang pa. So meaning, ang gagawin natin is identify the number of capacity of your restaurants. Meaning, halimbawa, ang ating restaurant caters for 30 users or 85 users. May mga if you are aware, yung mga nakakakita na ng plano, may nakalagay 80 packs. 80 maximum capacity is 80 persons or 80 users at the same time. So you need to provide at least nearest, not necessarily mean na provide the entire 100, 1:1. But what I'm trying to say is that provide a ratio nearest to that one. Say for example, 60% out of that 80%, 60% of the 60% of 80 capacity is allocated for parking. Hello? Na-explain ko ba? Did you absorb it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. So meaning, for our commercial building, you can either follow, drive-through fast food. You can either follow 1 is to 30, one car slot for the 30 square meter of your user, of your space. But at the same time, you can also project 10% additional um, 10% additional development out of that 30 square meter. So para sa din yung sinasabi ko na sa halimbawa 60% of your number of user will be allocated to number of parking. All right? So continue natin yung discussion for uh, parking para dire-diretso na. So dito naman for your public hospital, parehas din, halos the idea is obsolete. Pero for discussion, one car slot for every 25 bed, one loading space for jeepney, articulated truck, standard truck, okay. So when computing for parking slots, a fraction of 50% or higher shall be considered as one slot. In all cases, at least one slot shall be provided unless otherwise allowed. Okay, this one, off-site parking lot. Kung on your area, we have here a discretion of the PD 1096, multi-floor parking garage is located within a 200-meter radius of a building. 20% of the required parking provisions may serve as multi-floor parking garage. Okay. So in this case, kung mapapansin nyo, if you have an area allocated near, kung meron pang area na kayang uh, i-dispatch yung excess na parking, pwede naman i-consider natin. Kung may case study kayong ganun. Kung merong area for offsite parking, you can do that. Kung wala, better fixate or at least fixate your development within your lot. Okay, this one, offsite parking is not so much. Kung pwede naman, kung pwedeng on your area, go. Ang consideration lang for commercial is kung this is more than 200 meter away, no longer advisable. Pero pag nasa range pa ng 200, it's fine. Go. You can provide. Okay? All right. All right, let's go back to the design problem. Okay, let's go back and put emphasis on our design requirements. Do you know how to make concept board?
Not really po, pero we could search naman po like what's the contents of those. Sir?
I'm sorry, I got lost. I'm asking if, uh, hello, can you hear me?
Yes po.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm asking a while ago if you know how to make concept board. Aliona, you have answered. May I ask again?
Yes po, pero not really po, sir. We haven't really, they weren't, it wasn't taught how to make one, pero I think we could search naman po online.
Um, if you still have time, I can discuss what is a concept board.
Okay po.
How to make a concept rather.
Okay po.
Okay lang ba? Until what time
Yes,
nga
sir.
tayo for
Okay
the
Yes
lang
po,
class?
po.
sir.
Okay lang
Okay
po,
lang,
sir.
sir.
Okay lang, sir.
Take your time, sir.
Until what time nga tayo for the class?
8 po ata.
Okay, okay. Give me a discussion on how do we make a concept. Okay? Para at this early, you know how to conceptualize and dig deeper on how do we make the proper concept. Sige, okay na yan. Alright, can you see my screen?
Yes po.
Hindi, okay, hindi siya na, pwede na yan. Alright, so, my topic for discussion this afternoon is a supplemental knowledge about how do we make concept. Hello? Still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, my topic is, i-hide na lang natin to. Supplemental discussion for your design concept making. If I do it on a slideshow, nare-reflect ba sa inyo if it's in the slideshow? Hindi.
If it's on slideshow mode po, sir?
Yes?
Not
Hindi.
really po. No, we're not seeing the slideshow po.
Ah,
Just
okay.
like the before you click the
Yeah,
show.
yun nga eh. That's why I keep on escaping it.
It's fine naman, sir, if it doesn't go to
Okay.
like percent.
Yeah. What matters is the content. Okay. Let's proceed. So this is design concept. This is my slide for design 2 when I handled design 2. I don't know if that was 2016 or 17. Anyway, discussion art. We all know that famous buildings around the world has its iconic concept. Meaning, walang architecture na hindi nagsisimula sa concept. Everything has to go through a concept. So this one, if I may know, what building is this? I just hide na lang. What building is this? This is Beijing National Museum, or famously known as the Bird's Nest.
Ay, tama.
Yeah. This is located where?
China.
Beijing, China, of course. Of course. Okay. So, the idea for an amazing structure was the result of cooperation of Chinese and international architects and artists. As soon as the man realized in the need for shelter, blah, 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 in order to have this development. What do you think is the concept for this one?
The
Bird's
bird's nest.
All
A
right.
bird's nest.
So definitely
Beijing and there.
that's the bird's nest literal. Okay. So literal bird's nest as its concept. Okay, for this one, this is Aliona.
Sir, wait, I cannot see. Oh! Burj Al Arab. Wee, it's a little sailboat. Anong bahay mo yun?
Okay, from the Burj Al Arab. Did I pronounce it correctly? Burj Al Arab
Sir,
in
Burj Al
Dubai. So the concept was
A sailboat.
sailboat. All right. This one. What's this?
The Sydney
Building.
Opera House.
Sydney.
The Sydney Opera House. Concept was
Sailboats?
Or
Orange.
orange.
Orange peel.
Filter.
okay.
Really?
Yes.
Apparently, those answers are correct. Theoretical, ang daming nagsasabi na sailboat, ang daming nagsasabi, may mga haka-haka din that the concept of this one as was oranges na tigpil daw. So yun, those are theories. So who's the architect?
Frank Lloyd? I honestly don't know.
The architect was George Utzon.
Hello,
This
sir.
was designed by architect George Utzon, a Danish architect. Alright, so this one, what's this?
The Guggenheim? I wait, no. Wait.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao, designed by
Frank.
Frank
famous
Gehry.
architect
Frank Gary. Eh?
Frank
Gary.
lalaki.
Frank Gehry. Okay, this was an iconic architecture. What's this?
Um,
Oh, wait, I don't know. The magazine
But you
house.
have to know. You
First
have
letter.
to know. Okay, Sirit. Siret. Okay, this is Villa Savoy, designed by one and only Le Corbusier. One of the most renowned modernists, this is the pioneer modern architecture with the 5 points of architecture designed by Le Corbusier. So, you know 5 points in architecture? Hindi. Hindi pa? So, ayan. So, andito yung ating 5 points. The pilotis or the this one, the piloti on your plan, yung mga tukod, free floor plan, free facade, ribbon windows, and roof garden. Piloti is the elevating mass from the ground, meaning hindi siya necessarily nakadikit sa ground. Free plan, free facade, and then long horizontal sliding window, and then your roof garden. So, yon yung famous Villa Savoy. This one, of course, you know this one.
Falling water.
Falling Water
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank. Ah.
by
By Frank.
Frank Lloyd.
by Frank Lloyd Wright. This was Falling Water, or of course, the name of this one is Kaufman Residence. The Kaufman House, famously known as the Falling Water lang, but designed by one and only FLW Frank Lloyd Wright. Another iconic architecture derived from a concept of, anong konsepto nito?
Stones?
And that's sir, it's like a hand po sir na may, para may hawak-hawak siyang tubig. Kamay siya sir,
Yes, Dieter, ano yun?
yung pagkaka-alam ko sir ng concept niya sir is parang ano siya, um, isa hand po na parang may mga bumubuhos na tubig doon sa may, ano, sa may kamay niya. Hindi ko sure. Saan ko madabasa yun. Parang ganun yung sir yung concept niya.
Okay. Okay. Another answer? May I know from anyone? Just a guess. Wild guess. According to Aliona Stones, ano ba? Aliona ba yan?
Ah, yes po. Parang like stones in a river.
Yeah. Any other answers?
Waterfalls.
Waterfalls. Okay. Actually, this not necessarily waterfall, but reinterpreting how a nature is seen. Meaning, ina-adapt niya yung, do you know biomimicry?
Yes, sir.
Yes po.
So, this is an example of a biomimicry concept, ina-adapt yung in natural setting of its environment. Because the Kaufman family, this was just a theory, the Kaufman family wants to have a vacation house that has, of course, adapting its nature. Gusto nila maging retirement house to. So they hired Frank Lloyd Wright to design their retirement house that happens to be their residence, of course, na mafe-feel nila na they are not on the city. So, they opted to mimic an environment na pwedeng super natural. That's why the FLW derived or make it something like na adaptive to its environment. So, that concept is another interpretation of not just kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga una, say for example, yung bird's nest, yung um, Burj Al Arab, and then Sydney Opera House, those are architecture na merong resemblance to an object. That is tangible and then intangible concept. Meaning may relationship, may kaparehas, and then pag biomimicry, meaning ina-adapt an existing environment, it has to go through an intangible concept. Hindi literal na makikita mo or ma-associate mo sa isang bagay. Okay? So, some renowned Filipino architecture that has concepts, of course. This was Manyosa. This is the Coconut Palace or the Tahanang Pilipino designed by architect Bobby Manyosa. This one is the CCP, Museo ng Kalinangang Pilipino, designed by one and only, sino?
Yandroloksin.
John
Yeah, very good. This one, what's this?
The San Miguel.
Now,
Is it the San Miguel building?
San Miguel, sir.
Very good.
Oh, yeah, okay.
San Miguel Beer Corporation, the corporate building, designed by, who's the architect? Wala. Sino architect nito?
Sir, first letter.
Joshua Aguila.
First letter of the name or the family name?
Family name, sir. I think it's Locsin. I'm not sure. But I think that.
Who's the architect? Pag sinabi ko, dire-diretso na yun.
Clue, sir, clue.
Kilala siya. Famous. Famous siya.
Manyosa, sir.
Yan,
Very
sir.
good.
Francisco Maños.
Yeah, this is the other deviation of the architecture of Francisco Manyosa, the San Miguel Corporation. If you can see, more of green architecture then, but at the same time, yung mga canopy of a Filipino house is still present. Okay? So, ito, let's go through summary. So, those are architectures na mayroong resemblance to an object. And then, yeah, so basically, let's go to the definition. Asan na ako? Andito po ba? Can you hear me?
yes, sir.
Ayun, okay. So why is concept, what is a concept, and then why is it important for us to have a concept in our design? So so concept defined as idea, theory, inspiration, abstract, philosophy, belief, image, view, intention, hypothesis, or a supposition to an existing philosophy. So every design decision you will make will fall back to your concept for direction. Ang ibig sabihin, walang architecture na nadidefine or nagagawa without any start-up konsepto. Okay? Concept is a general idea to use for your plan. It is also an idea behind each design. It's how you plan on solving the design problem in front of you, underlying logic, thinking, and reasoning for how you'll design your architecture. Every design decision you will make, okay, your design concept becomes the framework for all your design decisions. Okay, yung sinasabi ko kanina na i-summarize na natin because it's getting late. We have two types of concept. Yung sinasabi ko kanina is intangible concept versus tangible concept. Pag sinabi nating exterior expression, ito yung mga architecture na may resemblance sa isang bagay. Um, may association. Say for example, yung Burj Al Arab, kamukha ng sailboat. So, it has a design paradigm. They focus on the message of your design to communicate on the exterior expression, on the association to a thing or an object. Another one is an interior experience to what I call it the essence, yung sinasabi mismo, yung intangible idea of how do you interpret it, hindi lang sa itsura niya. Okay? That is an interior experience. Number 1 is exterior expression. Number 2 is interior experience. Alright? So, ayun. Ito ang malalalim na to. So, concept generators. Let's discuss. Pwede kayong magkaroon ng konsepto out of the following determinants. Pwede tayong kumuha ng concept out of your site determinants, meaning pwede kayong kumuha on your topo, on your climate, geography, demographic, history, geology, and so on and so forth. Also, ito yung magde-define kung anong architecture meron kayo. Is it sensible to your environment? Which is I highly recommend since dapat natin i-consider yung existing condition. Physical concept. Ito yung mga nakikita on your existing location, on your site. Number 1, location, view, harmony with nature, and then underground architecture. Meaning underground architecture, yung hindi masyadong na-emphasize but has a bigger impact to your total architectural composition, such as, say for example, user of the site, user of an existing building. Next, cultural factors such as history, religion, social factors, economy, politics, and then functional. Spatial relations such as pragmatic, perceptual, existential, cognitive, abstract. Kung mapapansin nyo, if you started design 1 and 2 or 3, madalas na nagiging konsepto of a student is more of volumes, more of pragmatic, meaning may mga nabubuong cubes, volumes. Those are spatial concepts, spatial relation concept. Mga pinapanindigang konsepto na nabuo lang dahil ito yung lumabas na design nyo sa plano. So, sir, my design is like a cube dahil ito yung plano. So, those are spatial relation concept. You can also derive qualities of spaces such as proportion, scale, form, definition, color, texture, pattern, enclosure, light, and view. Alright? Also, another considerations are on its characteristics. Ayan, so continuity, repetition, balance, proportion, and so on and so forth. How do we illustrate a concept from sketch to reality? Halimbawa, ito yung ganito yung sketch mo. In reality, on your design, halos ganito yung visualize mo. That's an example of an illustration. This one is also an example. Are you still with me, guys?
Yes po.
Okay. So, also, ito yung sketch. So, model making, concept sketches. Alright, so model making, alright. Okay, those are sample sketches on how do we provide our drawings. So, on your screen is an example of a concept board. Ayan. Ito ay isang example ng concept board, meaning you have the option to show sketches and then description of your design rationale, or the rationale, this design justification, you can state it there, and then considerations. What are your considerations on how do you derive your design? So that's an example of your design concept. Okay. Any other questions?
Sir, does it have to be, does our like design concept have to be rendered po?
You have the option to render or not. If you want it monochrome, it's up to you. Kung render, pwede naman, it's your choice kasi design to. Sorry, I was distracted. Anyway, you have the option to render or not based on your choice. But at the end of the day, this is designed for, ang sinasabi ko kaya on my design class, show me what you've got. All right?
Okay po. Sir, how about, like, you've never discussed a title block, but do we have one, or
Yeah.
will you post?
For your title block, I will be sending na lang a format since halos para wala tayong problema on the measurements. I will send a format on the GC na lang, or I'll upload it on the BB.
Okay po.
Okay. Any other question?
So, you have you have a different format of title block po, or you're just going to use ano yan, parang sa ibang block na standard na title block.
I don't know if this is the same with other section, pero I will be sending a format para uniform tayo. I'll send it after the session on the GC. Hello?
Okay po, sir.
Okay po, sir.
Okay. Any other question?
Kailan, sir, yung final submission po ng major plate?
Okay. On the regarding on the submission, I will be asking the Dean's office na since late tayo nagsimula, I am extending it at least a week or two for that one. Final deadline will be posted as soon as I have info from the Dean's office po. Okay, meaning wala na tayo dun sa timeline for the learning activities. But I will be posting it here right after I have consulted Dean's office. Hello?
Okay po, sir.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay, any other concern?
Sir, how about po for the topic of the research po? Are we going to have an in-depth research po, or just
Okay. Regarding your research for your drive-through fast food, I ask you to do it for your resources, meaning you have to research on your own, nagagamitin for your major plate. At the same time, you will submit that to me. Pero make sure na lahat ng magagamit nyo is compiled. I don't have a format kung ano yung dapat na content. For as long as you think that is useful on your own development, you can have it as part of your research format. That's why yung in-upload ko po on BB is just a top format on the submission in terms of yung paano natin masosort out on my own. Paano ko ma-define kung asan, kung kanino to. So just put the name. Of course, research, design for research, blah, blah, blah. Meron tayong header and then footer. Kung natingnan nyo na, if you were able to check it, ganun lang yung binigay ko. The content will be based on your own.
okay, sir? Thank you po.
Yes, Dieter. Yes, you're raising your hands.
Sir, so
Yeah.
basically po, we can use multiple topics po for the research as long as we're going to use it po for the major plate.
Yes, definitely. Meaning lahat ng topic of discussion na makukuha nyo can be allocated, can be put it into your research compilation.
Including po, sir, materials.
Yes, I highly recommend, or I highly give credits to whatever innovations you may add, not only in materials but on the entire development.
Okay po, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alan. Next, any other concerns? Wala na? Wala na. If you don't have any questions, we can end the session. Sorry, I'll just take your attendance and then we can end the session. Okay, okay. Attendance, one last round of attendance, guys, before we leave. Joshua Aguila,
Present po.
Peter Aguilar,
Present, sir.
Christine Almasar, Christine, Kali Alvaro,
Present po.
Claire Anastasio, okay. Uh, April Christine,
Present po.
all right. Marga Arcos,
Present po.
Alejandro James Arenas, okay. Aliona,
Present.
okay. Raymond Balote,
Present po.
okay. Thank you. Christine Banyaria, wala, all right. Natalie Barameda,
Present po.
Christopher Edward Bien, wala, all right. Erica Borja,
Present po.
Erica, okay. Maria Angelica Buena, okay. Rose Ann Clavano,
Present, sir.
John Patrick Cunanan, wala, okay. Liberty Devela, Liberty,
Po, sir.
okay. Edgel Doblado,
Present po.
Lorraine Estrella,
Present po.
Adrian Florin, all right. Marisa Genova, Marisa, okay, yeah, okay, here. Denise Hernandez, Danica, wala. Brian La Madrid, Brian, wala, okay. Adrian Lopez, all right. Monica Lozano,
Present po.
okay. Monica JC Lucena,
Present po.
okay. Dingdong Magdalaro, CJ, wala. CJ, okay. Ira Maestrado,
Present po.
okay. John Allen Manalo,
Present po, sir.
all right. Jessa May Mendoza, Jessa Mendoza, wala. Josh Nueles, Josh, wala ba? I saw you earlier. Lemuel Pancha,
Present po.
Okay. Thank you. Ivan, Christine, Pancho.
Present po, sir.
All right. Erica, Rodapia. Erica. Okay. Jenaline Rodero.
Present po.
Okay. Hazel, City Hor. Hazel. Wala. All right. Gerard, Jean Serrano. Gerard.
Sir, present po.
Okay. Thank you. Ruby May Tolentino. Ruby.
Present po.
Yeah. Okay. Kyle, Kevin, Tumpang.
Present po, sir.
All right. Ana May Caballo. Okay. Thank you. Joy Ulat. Okay. Jeffrey Valenzuela.
Present po.
Ayun. Okay. Judy Ann Bertus. Okay. Judy Ann. All right. Okay. All right. If you don't have any other questions, I will be ending this session. Please feel free to raise your questions on our session. By the way, on for the Monday group, I think if you have question, you can post it or message me so that we can have our one-on-one session. By the way, I make it 11 persons only para matapos natin, matutukan ko yung mga planning sessions nyo. You're ongoing, so meaning I will be requiring from you to share your screen and then scan your ongoing planning session of your major plate. Is it okay?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. All right.